Okay, now this should work. Sorry, we're still doing some background work. I look like I didn't even wash my hair. Like I'm touching it right now and it's nice and soft and clean, but it's so long and my head does not like having long hair. I don't like having long hair and my head agrees with me. So I was trying out some shite in the background, trying to get my fan to calm its tits. So anyway, hi, if this is your first time here, my name is Shiro. I'm a comic artist, and what I usually do during these specific... my microphone's on? Yeah, good. During these live stream is I usually talk a little bit about what happened artistically during the week, usually what I've done artistically. And then we move on to me drawing my weekly webcomic Bootleg cookie. And lately there's been a lot of looking at my second screen because I am monitoring my fans because they've been random this year. I just don't want my computer to overheat, especially not in these trying times. Because where I live, it's actually really hard to get aftercare for a Mac. So yeah, I'm gonna try closing this. And yeah, that shut down that, but that's okay. Because when I say it's been random, like it's been ridiculously random. Every time I thought I found the issue, suddenly it wasn't the issue. You know what I mean? Like I thought that at some point it was the filters on clip, and then yesterday I tried the filters and they did not make my fan act up, and then I thought it was Streamlabs, and then I turned Streamlabs on and off, and it wasn't that either. And it was doing well for a while, and then I didn't touch nothing, and now it's up for some reason. So I don't know what they're doing. Well, since nobody is interested in watching my profile, looking at my fan, let's talk a little bit about what I did. So we're going to be doing a couple of things for you guys to see because it was digital this time. Usually I like showing off when I do traditional pieces, but I've been experimenting. So I'm just going to move a couple windows around so you guys can see. Well, also I'm going to hide my face. There we go. We're on my desktop and I'm going to move. There's a reason I paused the music. Let's see if I can make this bigger. And then I'm going to resize after. There we go. So there you guys are on my YouTube. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound well. But here you go. Pay close attention. And there you have it. That's what I did yesterday. So basically, this is, I don't know if I'll be able to resize this. Well, I'll do it manually later. I'm going to bring down the volume of the music again so I can actually hear myself talk. And bring everything back on my desktop where it's supposed to be. So yeah, that is indeed Wally Darling and Yellow Guy. Wally Darling is from Welcome Home, the Welcome Home Restoration Project.net, if I'm not mistaken. And Yellow Guy is from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. So basically I have this little alternate universe story going on just because they both have the same color palette. They're both yellow puppets with blue hair, and that's all it took. Of course, Wally has a blue shirt and Yellow Guy has blue pants. So there you go. The alternate universe is basically Yellow Guy is Wally's nephew, and he goes to home for his summer vacation. So far I've only drawn 2 episodes. There's more coming eventually. I have more ideas. So I drew it in Procreate, and I struggled because I don't practice enough on Procreate. There's a lot of gestures I just don't know. And then I ran it through Ember Draw. I'm going to write that down. Procreate is pretty easy to remember. The spelling Ember Draw, I think you guys would appreciate. There you go. Now, as far as I know, Ember Draw is... I would like to know what your issue is. Because you're not telling me you want an update. Sorry, it's because I have this Cintiq app screen that just likes to pop up at random to remind me that it exists. And I'm like, if you need an update, say so, because otherwise it's not showing me what it wants. See, software updates, no updates available. Bah. My temperatures are pretty normal for working hard. So yeah, Ember Draw, which is basically, I don't have my tablet here right now to visually show, but as far as I know, it's like Apple only. And it's basically an animated line art app. Like the squiggly art that you guys saw, the squiggly lines in Wally's eyes, and the black tears coming from Wally's fingers, and the Yellow Guy's eyes, that was all just Ember Draw. I just drew the line, it animated itself. I do not claim to be an animator, and I do not claim credit for the animation. I just thought it would look cool. And then I exported from Ember Draw and put all that in CapCut, and then added the music through CapCut. Because I don't know if you guys noticed during that play, but you can always go to my YouTube and play it as much as you want. The song playing is a music box version of Beautiful Dreamer, which is a song that Wally sings at some point if you play the ARG. I don't know if it's still there because the website has been down for story purposes and they've been changing stuff around. But there was, I don't know if there still is an audio file of Wally singing Beautiful Dreamer. And layered with that, I put some generic horror sound effects. So it's like a slow xylophone version of Beautiful Dreamer, and then out of nowhere there's like a So it was a big job of drawing, it was a big job of editing. If anything, the easiest part was the animation, because I didn't animate. I just drew some lines and the lines animated themselves. For simple stuff like that, it's better, really. That's why I keep saying there's always a layer in AI and filters. It's when you let the AI do the entire image or the entire animation. Like, I don't want... Let's put it like this, okay? I don't mind an AI like doing some simple animation, simple repetitive animation, like effect animation, stuff like that. I don't want the AI if I need to animate a character like lifting an arm or smiling or stuff like that. I don't want the AI to do that for me. You know? For those of you that want to do that, well, you're not really doing it yourselves, are you? At least when I used Ember Draw, I drew the lines myself. The lines were pre-animated, but I still put the lines where I wanted, and I didn't write down a prompt. The lines should go down the face. No, I grabbed my Apple Pen and I traced the line myself. I mean... Gotta be reasonable too, dear, at some point. Notice the lack of people again, because not only is... Like, I'm doing these live streams at the only time I have free. Because at any other point in the day, I am going to be asked for stuff, I'm going to be asked for help. And... like, literally, this is the only time I have. And it's a Sunday, and we are entering the convention calendar, so yeah, I don't expect a lot of people for a while yet. So we're going to keep talking about some anniversaries as I work on today's bootleg cookie. Today's bootleg cookie is not going to be about an anniversary. I accidentally full screened this again. Stop that. Stop that, me. Puedes subir esa chaise. I got the fan going again. Like, I was comfortable not 10 minutes ago and then suddenly got really hot. All kinds of stuff I just don't understand. I've been using an app called Friendly Streaming or Friendly Viewing. Let me check the name real quick. Friendly Streaming to listen to YouTube while I work. So I don't have to mess around with tabs when I'm on Firefox. Hi, Coco! And I decided, instead of putting more stress on Firefox, why not open up my my pretzel and set it as a channel on Friendly Streaming. And that's how I was also able to quickly swap from the Wally animation to the pretzel.rocks music. I'm on the bus watching you. I got some cheap earbuds just to listen to the stream while I'm mobile. Well, isn't that lovely? Thank you. Hopefully my computer won't explode while you got earbuds in. It shouldn't. Temperatures look pretty normal. But I set the fan to be at a constant 2000. Which I will absolutely remember to set back to automatic where it goes down to 1200. My Good Hero headphones are kind of big for an errand. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I got some really cute Mickey Mouse big headphones and I never used them. I'll be honest, they expected kids to buy them, so the cushions are a little small for my ears. I got... All things considered, I have tall ears. And they're pink. Yes. And the cushions kind of press on the top and the bottom of my ears, and after a while it's very uncomfortable. Oh, is this gonna be one of those days where it lags so much I have to stop the stream? A temporary lag is not the end of the world, but a constant lag... Like, I'm doing well here, it's, There we go. I have to slow myself down. Very good to know that no matter where I set this thing, it's going to fuck up no matter what I do. I pay you guys a freaking fortune, and the service has been going down. Not only that, okay, I have this freaking thing. Not only do they really don't care about the desktop app, and sometimes the music, which is also streamed, mind you, messes up. I have this thing set on YouTube safe so that nobody will come bother me for copyright claims on YouTube for the music, and yet still, as if clockwork, almost every week I have somebody bothering me for copyright claims on the music. To which I invariably reply that I pay a license to play that music. And one of two things usually happened. Either they take it down right away, either they take the claim down right away as soon as they get the email, or they ignore it for a whole month and let it time out. Like, so far, only one person decided to reject my counterclaim, because apparently I was using music from Captain Tsubasa. Is that background noise the Mac fan? No, it is a fan. It's not the Mac fan. It's kind of hot in here. I took off the hoodie. But I was feeling like really, really hot. So if you hear a whoosh, it's a metal fan that is currently standing on my printer. Thinking maybe getting a because I don't really super want yet another USB plug thing, but I guess I'll have no choice. A little desktop fan that aims right to my face, but the other thing is I want this thing to also cool down the rest of the room. I cannot reach the window to open it. Besides, I think today it's raining on top of that, so... It's getting hot in here, but please don't take off all your clothes. Yeah, like I have a habit. If there's any Twitch mods or YouTube mods lurking around, friendly reminder that Coco is joking. I do not take off my clothes. Every time it is too hot in here, I will take off one layer. I have a perfectly modest layer under it, just with shorter sleeves. Forgot to put it down to 9. A lot of things I forgot. That's the thing with Clip, it will usually remember the last settings for your text. So you gotta change them. Also, for those of you that were keeping an eye on my commissions, they are currently closed. They will reopen next month. Regardless, there will be a notification in the newsletter, so subscribe to the newsletter. No, I didn't. 6 people? What the heck? Well, that's pleasant. Cartoon Cat Girl. Hello, Cartoon Cat Girl. Just thought I'd say hi. For some reason, my iPad is weird, so I'm commenting with my phone. Oh, that's gotta be comfortable. But I'm glad you're here, even if it's just for 1 minute. Just glad you showed up. So yeah, I mentioned a couple of times that this year in September will mark my 40 years anniversary of picking up one of these and never putting it down for the rest of my life. 40 years of non-stop drawing. Well, I noticed this week that not happy with that. In July, apparently, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of this very webcomic, Bootleg Cookie. We're going to do something about that. I'm not gonna say what yet exactly. But it's gonna be cool. And now we're back down to 1 person. We had 6 people earlier and now 1 person, so I don't know what's going on there. Luckily, my iPad seems to be fine now. Also good to know. Sometimes electronics decide just to be weird. And sometimes they just explode 2 inches away from your face. This happened to me twice, and that was twice too many. And for those of you that are going to say, well, this is what happens when you decide to buy Mac products, none of my Macs exploded on me. Neither my tablets, my phones never exploded on me. It was a Windows machine. One broke down, one literally exploded. The other electronic that exploded on me was my desktop lamp for my traditional arts desk. There was a storm outside. Bolt landed a little too close to the house, and it made my lamp explode. So yeah, Mac was fine. Mac was virtually untouched. But it was a little too much emotions for my little Amazon Select lamp. Funny how technology can make life easy and hard at the same time. Oh, does it ever. My poor parents, they're trying to make sense of a grocery chain, and all the cashier could tell them to do was to check the app. Because to get a certain price on an item, they were supposed to be members, but they're like already members, as far as we know. And their only instructions was check the app. And I'm like, these people are in their 60s. And even if they weren't, not everybody can afford to have a phone and or the internet and or, you know. So why not have like two versions of this membership? One on paper and one on the app. Or like when I was at the electronics store, we had a system where we could have access to a customer's account. Why can't you guys do that? Then again, on the other end, I know why they can't do that because I saw the interface. And it's not as free as ours. Fun. That had to be terrifying. And both on the same side, too. Because when the computer exploded 2 inches from my face, the tower was on my right side. And when my lamp exploded, it was also on my right side. So there's something about my right side, which is why I'm glad that my Mac is on my left side. For those of you that are joining us, you're invited to go and visit my YouTube. Last night, I posted an animation I did. Like, I drew the art, but I wouldn't say that I made the animation. I use an app called Ember Draw, where the line art that you use is, like, pre-animated. Of course, my YouTube... so very unofficial. I'm gonna redraw that hand because it looks AI. At least it wasn't a lithium-ion battery spicy pillow that exploded. They cause house fires. I'll be honest, I read that fast, and at first I saw they cause house flies. And I was thinking, oh, they cause a lot more than that. And that's another thing. That's something that happened in this house. We did have a Capri Sun battery. I actually found one the other day. Yikes. But yeah, my computer that exploded. It was a power supply issue, but no Capri Sun batteries. It was the fan of the power supply that had stopped working, but I did not know because I had 3 fans in that computer. So I couldn't hear it not going, if you know what I mean. But we did have a Capri Sun battery in the house. That was when my mom's Apple Watch decided to Capri Sun. And it pushed... Well, I should show it on my actual watch. And it pushed the screen off, and it was to the side like that. There was a big Capri Sun under it. And Mom was still wearing it. And I was like, get that fucking thing off your hand. Is it dangerous? That's gases trapped in that. Or whatever it's trapped in that. That's gonna explode. That's gonna set on fire. Yeah, but you and Roxanne gave it to me. And I'm like, Mom, we'll get you another one. Get that off your hand. And save the bracelet. And yeah, speaking of things that happened this week, this actually happened like 2 days ago. What I'm drawing right now. Speaking of fires. But coincident in mine was a smartwatch battery too. So far I've been lucky, like, this watch is a rather old model, this Apple Watch is a rather old model, it was secondhand, and it's about as old as Mom's previous watch, and so far it's still fine. It's pretty solid. Touch wood. Now, of course, one thing I'm gonna say right away. Been playing some Anton Blast as of late. I highly recommend it. While I explain that I'm not making fun of Dad's cooking, what is Anton Blast? Like I'm saying, I'm not making fun of my dad's cooking. If I didn't trust my dad's cooking, I wouldn't be this calm telling him that the food was literally on fire. It was just like part of the husk of one of the corns was just like really dry compared to the others, even if he soaked them in the sink. Dried up faster than the others, I guess, and but it's fine. It was delicious. It was perfect, actually. Actually, I just want to build the barbecue before I start with cleaning up the sketch. I usually like to to prepare my electronics and my backdrops first. So like that when I clean up, I have something tangible for my characters to lean on or stuff like that. It's a platformer where you blow stuff up, I assume. Come on, load. Yeah, so you get your spirits back from Satan, who wants to be the reddest bean on and slash or in the planet. Well, that sure is a synopsis. I mean, who am I kidding? I play Final Fantasy. I've been fighting the devil and God since the SNES days. If any of you guys remember the comic where I built a barbecue with Dad, you're probably noticing this barbecue is much smaller. The story where I built a barbecue with Dad, that barbecue did its time, basically. It was retired in exchange for a smaller barbecue that was better suited for our needs. Also, absolutely zero offense, Cartoon Cat Girl. I'm not a fan of platformers. That is a bold-faced lie. I love platformers. I am terrible at them. That's the difference. I am convinced that the only reason I've been beaten the most recent Marios, plural, is because they made them easier and with less pitfalls. Pitfalls are my issue. Oh my god. I tried so hard to play New Super Mario World. I think that's the name of it. And there's this level that you need to have good depth perception to see where you're going. But like side on like a regular Mario level, that section, I mean. And oh my god. Like, these glasses are technically to help me see depth. Like, I'm not blind when I take them off. Like, I can see my glasses. I can see the camera. I have a statue of the Joker behind my tablet. I can see every little sculpted wrinkles and veins on that guy. This is plastic. I should be wearing a monocle. But I struggle with seeing depth. Like, I have strength in my left eye, but for all intents and purposes, these glasses are, like, technically decorative. Like, I can drive without my glasses. I can't see depth, but I can, like, guess it to a point where I can drive, like, safely, you know? And it's hard to explain because when I'm driving without my glasses, it's not that what I see is blurry, and it's not that I can't see the post signs, or if there's somebody on the road or stuff like that. All that is super clear, but it's flat. And that's my issue. And this is why I struggle so hard with drawing perspective. And when I tell you guys that he was literally explaining to me how to cook corn, he shut down the lid, explained, like, not even worth 2 seconds of explanation, opened the lid back up so I can put the steaks, and the corn was like, whoosh, the flames! Anton Blast is very challenging with Looney Tunes-esque humor. Don't worry. Oh, I worry a lot! That is my issue! But I do appreciate the idea of Looney Tunes-esque humor. People have been happy to learn that Daisy was not dead in the latest pages plural of It's a Wonderful Life. But now I am just waiting for the inevitable, because from my point of view, I've got like 3 or 4 pages left to do on It's a Wonderful Life. You guys still have like a month worth of comics to wait on. Unless you're subscribed to my Patreon. Because then you would have access to the pages early. Who doesn't worry, especially these days? Oh, lordy! Sadly, we can't talk about it. Or else I might get kicked around and off of the platforms. Because platform owners are scaredy cats. Won't somebody please think of the advertisers? Anybody else noticing I basically sculpt my fire the same way I sculpt my hair? Those little anime points. Alright, super. Let's clean this up in pencils, but first, hydration time. Of course, he put on a little coat because he was cold. Because indeed, we are blessed with the AFAB people in the house all feeling incredibly hot, and the one AMAB freezing to death. Your dad's burnt corn reminds me of last week when I tried to make a s'more brownie dish. I almost lit my apartment on fire due to the burning marshmallow fluff when I set the oven to broil. Whoops. I'm assuming you're okay. One time I burnt boiled potatoes because I forgot them. Because guess what? ADHD. And like they charred the bottom of the pan. Like the bottom of the pan, the outside was black. The inside, well, they boiled dry, that's what happened. And the inside was black and it was rainbow from the overheat. Oh, I cried myself sick. Because I was worried of Mom's reaction, and she was like, well, I told you to check him. So I mean, I was already like snotty crying. What more could she do? I forgot to do the handle. I'm an idiot. Just got kind of smoky, so phew. Okay, good. We don't want terrible things to happen to people in general, even less our followers. Nothing interesting in the spam. Spammers have been, like, touch wood once again. Spammers have been behaving on the Vine art. I can appreciate the leave me the fuck aloneism. Had to drench a dish in the sink. It looked like the aftermath of a volcano eruption. Let's think positive. Maybe you would have won a ribbon at the science fair. It's a good example that we don't really panic in the face of danger. But the fact that we don't panic, a lot of like neurotypical people will think that we're freezing. We're not freezing. We just figure if we take this calmly, we will not escalate the incident, you know? Then people are like, hurry, hurry! And then get mad at us for not hurrying. Meanwhile, we already did the math in our head on how to do this the most efficient way without spilling anything and causing something to get even more on fire, you know? Like what is happening right now. Like, it's a big fire, but it is in fact contained inside the very metal barbecue made for heat. I have autism, so I can kind of relate. Well, there you go. Even better. Like, me, I don't know, if I'm autistic or not. But that's the thing with ADHD. You can be ADHD, just ADHD, autistic, just autistic, or what they call AUHD, which is autistic and ADHD. While I have not been diagnosed for either, we all know I have ADHD. I have all the signs, and mom has been diagnosed ADHD, and it's hereditary. So yeah, my favorite part was like, okay, so we both know that. So we both know it's hereditary. Which one of your parents do you think gave us, Grandpa? It was so obviously Pappy's fault. Bonus point, okay? So I have this ancestor. Like, for the longest time, I was told he was my great-great-great-grandpa. But now I'm kind of thinking he's probably my great-great-great-uncle. Either way, I'm related to this guy. Clearly, him and my pappy share the exact same facial features, okay? Bon. And we're trying to prove it. It's a ridiculous process. So when we went to try and contact the tribe that still exists today, they told us, to our face, on top of that they don't recognize him as one of them. You guys share the same last name. What do you mean you don't recognize him? Then I thought, oh, you guys are anti-autistic, are you? Because here's the thing. This, like, I'm talking about Zachary Vincent, okay? Telariolin. Zachary Vincent. And I had seen a painting, like, last year or 2 years ago of him. And, like, it was a ceremony to make this, like, white guy an honorary Huron. And everybody was dressed like half Huron, half European. And, like, staring straight at the painter. And then there's my ancestor. Dressed fully Huron with a crown of red feathers that he designed himself, avoiding eye contact, looking away, and the description of the painting says, and here is Telariolin doing his own thing. And I'm like, oh my god, this man is neurodivergent. And he was famous because he was a painter. And his name literally meant the last Huron slash unmixed. I am clearly mixed, okay? I'm what they call a métis. But to contact the tribe and have them say that they don't recognize him, the guy has books about him. He has a whole collection of his paintings that he did that is in the Fort Ramsey Museum in Montreal. Self-portraits, stuff like that. And they say they don't recognize him. And I can't help but think that it's because they're anti-autistic. That's probably not the reason they're giving, but that's what it feels like, knowing his behavior. His behavior is literally on paper. And oil. Because that was an oil painting. Of him just staring off into space, dressed differently from everybody else. And the realization, like, oh my god. Of course, it would be a little late to try and do some testing, but like, I'm just saying, there's some signs, you know, there's some signs that are very evident. Little late for testing him. Me, there's always time to test me, eventually. ADHD and procrastination, you know. I mean, this whole live stream is literally to force myself to stick to a schedule to draw my own webcomic. You just have an Irish top coat, yeah. Like that I can slip undetected amongst the Caucasians. Until I open my mouth, and then they realize, oh, that is not a neurotypical person. Let's bully them. For the record, he was joking also on this panel. He knew he was using water. Like, I may have a cooking diploma, like I'm legally a professional sous chef. My father has been cooking for as long as I've been drawing. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to cooking. The man is a professional chef. He doesn't have a piece of paper to prove it, but Mom and I have the body weight to prove that he can cook. What I am saying is that we both know better than to panic in a kitchen setting. There's blades, there's fire, there's liquids. Lot of room for error. We know better than to panic. Speaking of panicking, hang on, there we go, and we're back. Oh, hi, Dread Devil! Oh, that's been a while. We're just talking about uh, nobody in this chat being neurotypical, basically. How you been? My stepdad's pretty much a chef too. He's learned cooking from his Italian grandmother. Oh, right there. And he even worked in a professional kitchen setting a couple times. There we go. For the record, when I read typos like that, it's not to make fun of you guys, because if anybody does a lot of typos, it's me. It's just for the fun of hearing me trying to pronounce it. Oh, thank you, Annan. That means Paul's here. Thank you very much for your contribution to my label holder. And just as I say that, I'm looking at my label maker and I'm like, oh, you are going to get picked up and organized soon? I'm doing good. Recently found out that this comic that I'm drawing right now is going to hit 10 years in July. So preparations will be in order. There are plans. I just hope I can realistically make them. Why? Because it involves a lot of math, and we all know that is not my specialty, to say the least. I'm just gonna change the color of the other line art, so like that I'll be able to erase what I need without too much issues. There's a lot of copy pasta today in the art. So of course, those of you guys that have just joined us, feel free to go on my YouTube. Last night I posted a new short featuring Wally from Welcome Home and Yellow Guy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I will not take credit for what little animation there is. I use an app called Amber Draw. So yeah, so when I have to do several layers of inking, I like to do actually make separate layers, so like that. Even if it's easy to erase the lines I don't need with the vector eraser, I don't have to be precise if I use the vector eraser on several layers. As an example, like let's say this was all on one layer, I would have to go carefully, very carefully, or else I might accidentally erase some of the eye while I'm trying to erase the barbecue in the back. But because they're on 2 layers, I can just zigzag randomly inside the area that I want to erase, and I won't touch the line art that I don't want gone. And for those wondering how I figured that out, well, that's pretty much how learning Clip Studio goes. You fiddle around, you find something at random, and you go, whoa, I can do that? Sure, there's tips, and there's lessons, and there's YouTube tutorials, but nothing beats the method of, whoa, I can do that? That's why I say to those of you that have Clip Studio and don't use it yet, you guys have access to a quick access menu that you can program. I have several programs here. As you guys can see right now, I'm on Aurora Ronin, but I got one for Bootleg Cookie, one for Mario Comics, one for Charybdis. You guys don't see me use it because I'm actually using it on the companion mode of Clip Studio on my phone. So the tools that I use the most for certain comics, I program them in a quick access menu, and there you go, problem solved. So I don't have to go through 3 million menus trying to remember what kind of brush I use for this or that comic. Something kind of similar happens with the palettes. I can't put palettes in the quick access because all it does, it will just pop out the palette menu. That's all it does. It doesn't go to a specific palette, though I wish it would. But at least I can make my own palettes and name them what I need. Like I got a Yoshitaka Amano palette, a Mike Mignola palette, a palette for Auric, for Tall Tales, because it's the same character, but it's 2 different series. So they have 2 distinct palettes. Aurora Ronin, Clarity Girl, when I work on her, it's rare, but it's there. And a couple more. Some of my palettes are available in the Ko-fi shop. There's some that I offer for free for obvious reasons, and there's some that I sell because I worked hard on making them. If you're into Ghibli, I recommend the Giggly Has Been palette. Those are palettes for Clip Studio because that's all I work on, but eventually I do have some Procreate versions of some of my palettes. You'll have to look. They are correctly labeled. There is the Clip Studio Freetone palette that I need to release. It will be for free. The Freetone palette is a palette made based off the Pantone colors by Stuart Semple on Culture Hustle. And like there was discussion of making a Clip Studio version, and I asked him, like, the palette is done, the palette is made, and I even added some new colors that he introduced recently. And I asked him to host it on Culture Hustle, and he said he would, but then he got super busy. So I'm thinking I'm going to release the palette myself, but he released the palette for free. I'm going to release the clip version for free. And I cannot guarantee that I will make a Procreate version, because that is a lot of color. Woof, good thing I got a tummy. That could have ended up on the ground. Oh, here's another, well, not funny, but more cute than anything, thing that I learned. And there are plushies out there called Posture Pals. And what they do is that they're dense plushies that you put in your lap while you work at your desk. And the pressure prevents you from bending forward too far, so you can keep a straighter posture while you work. And I'm thinking at the same time that that sounds like a great idea. But then I remembered that my desk is a corner desk, and where I am, there's like this huge gap with a pull-out tray for my keyboard. So there is absolutely zero place for me to put this thing in my lap. Because I do need to have access to my keyboard. So that's kind of awkward. I do want a more normal desk eventually. Because this one is kind of awkward, because, like, yes, it's a corner desk, but it has, like, built-in shelves. And I kind of need that room for storage, but at the same time, my Mac over here, because I can't put it here, because my tablet is here, like, it's right here. And it's like holding only by the corner. The middle of the tablet is like floating in the air, because once again, it's not flat in front of me. There's that big empty curve. And the Mac is like way up here on the shelf. So it's not super comfortable on the neck. That's not the right way to make popcorn. Yeah, there were a lot of popcorn jokes. Bonsai by John Fitty and Claude Larson. That's a cute little tune. Also, my hair hasn't looked like this in a long while. I really need to get Mom to cut it. So you guys know that when I draw or paint or stuff like that, like, the color has to be completely there and even in one stroke with me. Well, apparently that's an ADHD trait that I share with my mom. Because it made me think of this one thing that happened once when she cut my hair. She had recently got like a sculpting blade, but for hair, like a precision razor blade to, like, quote unquote shave / carve designs in really short hair. And she wanted to try it on me, and I was like, it's hair. Like, I usually ask her to shave this part of my head to a 2, and as you guys can see, it's like ridiculously long right now. And she friggin' carved my skull. There was blood everywhere. And I was like, ow, ow, ow. And she was like, I'm sorry. I know, she wanted it done. She wanted it done now. So in order to get it to look good, instead of going like little bit by little bit, no, I'm like... Needless to say, I never asked her to carve designs in my skull again. See what I was talking about earlier? I can just erase and it's gone. I don't have to be careful of the black lines because they're on a different layer. There, now we can get the line art back to black and merge these. Puis on est débarrassé. Oh, come on. So the trigger stopped working for half a second for some reason. I did not like that. I'm gonna have another sippy sippy, and then we're going to start with the flats. I just saw that Coco sent me a picture of her new earbuds, and they are indeed pink. I love me some pink. As if the backdrop color of this display wasn't enough of, of a hint. I love me some bright pink. Hope that your weekend is going well. Your comic looks awesome. Thank you, Paul. My weekend's going good. Despite catching the corn on fire, it was cooked to perfection and the house did not burn down. And I experimented with an app that makes animated line art, which I featured at the start of the stream. It is on my YouTube in the shorts at the time of recording this live stream. Also, I don't know if you've checked your messages on Ko-fi recently. The stuff you had ordered digitally is in there. It's nothing illegal, people. It's the reason my commissions are closed this month and will reopen next month. I'm not kidding when I say that I wear that pink hoodie every day. Except on laundry day. I mean, can you blame me? It's lined with that mutton thing there. I will check it out. I'm very excited to see your work. They're so good. I just finished with the college yesterday, and I'm reintegrating myself into society. I'm officially a therapist now. Oh my god, I'm so proud of you! How do I do this again? I don't remember if it's like that. They're awesome! Ah, you just saw them. Thank you so much. Hope that you share them on social media. I want everyone to see them. I will, eventually. I was just waiting for the Paul stamp of approval. Well, at least Paul's dancing. So yeah, I haven't posted them yet. It was not a thing of being ashamed. It was literally a thing of waiting for approval. Because I do have this thing, I don't post... when I do commission for somebody, I rarely, really post them without permission. I usually don't post without permission, but I will assume that I have permission if the commissioner posts the art himself, or herself. I mean, I'm not judging. Themselves. Look, guys, I am non-binary and gender fluid. Of course, I'm going to struggle with genders. I put furikake seasoning on my popcorn. You know, I gotta try that one of those days, furikake. A lot of flavors I want to try, really. Well, I still have a sense of taste. Because, like, I saw that video again about one of the reasons the world might look duller is because of your crystalline in your eye, however it's said in English, will tend to go yellower to protect your eye from sunlight. And that's why the colors you see are duller. And I mean, I guess being a basement gremlin has its positives, because I can still see, like, in bright colors. And this room right now, my studio, is the best example. if I'm ever worried of not being able to see bright colors, I found it at Walmart, so I bought some. Oh, so that's a 6-hour drive for me. Good to know. Oh, and Lily is singing the song of her people. Somebody must be minding their own business somewhere outside the house. Holy shoot. Dad's hair is clear, but it's not outright white. That's Pappy. I figured it'd work on popcorn as it smiled like rice. And I know for a fact that as you get older, sometimes, or a lot of times, you taste less. So you're less inclined to work on your meals. Because what's the point? You're not going to be able to taste it. So while I can still taste as well as I can see color, I want to expand my palate more. Plus now I got a professional therapist in the house, like yay! Who else can brag on stream that there's a therapist? A professional therapist, nonetheless. People would be like, oh, is that famous VTuber that came and crashed my stream? And no, I have a therapist. Ho ho ho. Seriously though, super proud of you, Paul. It is not easy to reinvent yourself. No matter where you are in life. Take my mom, for example. She decided this year that she was going to get her high school equivalence diploma, and she did. But it was not easy. And I am also proud of her. She's got a little class ring and everything that Dad bought her. She deserved it. See, nothing but winners in my families and friends. I only hang out with the best of the best. Chat. Like I keep saying that I attract the weirdos. That's still true. But a lot of you guys are actually quality people. Quality weirdos. Only the best weirdos. The weirdo scum I block. But the top tier weirdos I keep. Thank you. Ah, here's the heart. I just finished 2 months at the Niagara. I want to say it in French. Niagara. There. Children's Center working with kids who have significant disabilities. It was very difficult but an amazing experience. That sounds great. I find that I have great patience with kids. It's their parents. Like kids in general. I do remember just one time there was this girl with Down syndrome. Like we have a lot of people with Down syndrome in town. And usually, like I understand what they say, they're very clear. This one, she had a speech impediment. And she wanted to tell me about her day. And I wanted to hear about her day, like I was at work. Yes, you're in a good mood. I want to share in that mood. What happened to you? But I couldn't understand anything. Thankfully, her helper and or parent was with her. And she was like, she would say something and she understood what she was saying. So the girl was saying something and like I know I'm the type to imitate voices and stuff like that, but I feel it would be disrespectful if I would talk the way she talked. So I'm just going to say she said something that I did not understand. And her helper / parent would understand what she said and would repeat clearly like, oh yeah, that's what you know, like when you play an RPG, your character is silent and then the person that you're talking to repeats to you what you apparently just said. That's what it was. That's what it was like. But as I was just saying, usually I have patience with kids. Their parents. And it doesn't matter the type of kid. I mean, there's a lot of kids that like they're literally minding their own business and then the parent decides to be an asshole and I'm like, Because I mean, it's a kid. 99% of the time they don't know better. But then also we also remember that 1% of the time called the Grand Theft Photo Saga. That was one of those times that I was like, no mercy. But there was also that one time where that little girl was handed a plushie from my display. And she proceeded to basically... Like she was playing with a lemon candy in her mouth. Taking it out, putting it back in, taking it out, putting it back in. And her hands were coated with lemon sticky saliva. And she wiped her hands very carefully on the Yoshi that her big brother gave her. And then her father took the Yoshi, put it back on the shelf. Was I pissed at the little girl? Hell no. Hell no. Was I ready to flay her father? And then he came back in the store with his wife and the kids, and he was like he couldn't look me in the eye. As I was cleaning the Yoshi, and I made a big show, like I would stretch over the counter with the Yoshi, big smile, trying to make eye contact with him. Like, And this is why I'm not a therapist. I'm a dick. Even when I'm nice. which is why I'm doubly proud of Paul. Of course, some people are asking, well, why can't you be the bigger person and be nice to people that are mean to you? And to that I say, I will no longer shrink myself to make you comfortable. You can choke. I will no longer express grace to people that go out of their way to be mean. No matter their age. Only difference is I will usually, as far as I know, I have not yelled at a kid. But I will say that usually I try to avoid yelling at kids. As you guys saw, to those of you that read the Grand Theft Auto saga, I'm more of psychological torture than yelling. And even then, like it takes a lot. Like you really gotta push me. Cause I had a kid literally steal a toy from my store, and all I said loudly was, "Hey." And he tried to explain himself to me when he got back, but once again, neurodivergent brain already understood what he was doing, and I was like, "Nope, nope, wait, no, no, shit, no, no. Listen, shit. You're not in trouble. You brought it back. But never do that again. Because me, I don't mind, because you brought it back right away. But never, ever do that again. Because then, you'll be in trouble." For the record, I understood that he wanted to show the Skylander to his mom. But in his little kid brain, and once again, me with my neurodivergent brain, because my store was affiliated with the store next door, he thought technically it's the same store, so he's not stealing. The problem was the execution when he started walking slowly, looked me straight in the eye, and then bolted for the other store. There's the issue. Now that I have time, I can't wait to catch up on Patreon and buy tons of comics. Yay, comics. Yeah, I gotta do more stuff for the Patreon. But that's the thing, though, and you probably noticed when I do ask if people want to see something specific on the Patreon or anywhere else, if I want people's opinion, like most of the time, I get absolutely no reply at all. Would you like this? Would you like that? And I get nothing. Complete silence. And that's not only on Patreon. Like I had put some polls about everywhere in my public spaces, and I get nothing. But I know some people are seeing my post because I get a lot of likes on the art. So but as I said earlier, I recently found out that Bootleg Cookie is turning 10 this summer. And there is a plan for that. I am not discussing it here, but I might eventually pretty soon drop some hints on Patreon on what I plan to do about that. Then after we solved our little corny problem, first thing I did, I went inside and I told Mom, hey, good news, I don't panic when food's on fire. Alright, I'm just gonna have a little sippy sip, give time to Paul to catch some fairies, and then I'll put in the backgrounds and we'll be done for today. Itchy nose. I'm not picking it. I'm literally... See? I'm just scratching. Woo! you have received 100 messages. It's nothing but celebrations and anniversary this year. Anything to ignore the outside man-made horrors. I'm gonna use a light purple because we were outside, so it's kind of like a sky color. Alright. Thank you for a fun show. Your comic and Archies look awesome. And now you guys know, Paul commissioned me to do some Archie portraits. And I believe I will post them, let's say tomorrow. Because I'll be working on some, on Smack again. So I won't be needing to post much. So let's do that. Let's post the Archie portraits on Monday. So look forward to that, folks. Yeah, it looks good to me. Same goes for the temperatures. I set my fan to 2000. So like that, when I put it back to automatic, what's probably going to happen is it's going to go high up again, and then it's going to calm the hell down. And since we're done with the comic, you guys know what this means. It's time for the bookend. And the extra special caramel drizzled, rainbow sprinkled chocolate syrup thanks to our supporters. Whether on Patreon, Ko-fi, you're all support booties. So extra special thanks to Amber B, Paul K, the psychologist, excuse me about that. Miss Innovister, E Othered, Bad at Multiplayers, Blah 6, Winter the Kitten, Matthew H, and the part-time support booties, Super Dudette 808 and Rocket Mouse. Your continued or part-time support is always appreciated. Next week, I do believe that, yes indeed, next week is going to be a whole weekend of live streams with the Color Challenge on Saturday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and the regular Bootleg Cookie live stream on May the 4th be with you! Once again at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. A lot of fun drawing this. And I'll see you guys next week. I love you all. And bye-bye.